Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. That is Jack. I am Conrad. This is the 45 Transfer Stupid with a look at Gareth Bale's possible return to Spurs. He's been at Real Madrid for the last 7 or 8 seasons. Had obviously great success there. This in from Fabrizio Romano. This is as close as he's been to leaving, evidently.
Yeah, and it's been rumored for several years. I think he's been unsettled. The relationship between him and Real Madrid coach Zinedine Zidane has never been the picture of what you want it to be. And I think that now it's kind of reached a spot where there is a suitor for him. I think that maybe Madrid went from their expectations of being to sell him off to maybe now a loan might make a lot of sense. And they're going to be paying for about half of his wages, which is going to be obviously a huge amount regardless. But they're going to get a chance to maybe try and increase his value. And if they're going to eventually get some actual money back for him, then maybe this season could prove that he still has some value and still has some worth. But as much as has been rumored, I think it's a recurring theme to Manchester United back to Spurs. He's a big name for the media newspapers to kind of just float around that, oh yeah, he might do something. But now it feels like it actually could happen.
Yeah, British player returning to England, always going to capture headlines, especially somebody that left on such a number and has had such great success in his time at Madrid. Obviously, his goal-scoring prowess was fantastic at Madrid. I think part of the reason I suspect he's fallen out with Zidane is he's bearing the brunt of Cristiano Ronaldo not being there. He's never really fit in there, and they don't have another Galactico around him necessarily. That's not nearly the same level. I mean, there's two people in the world that are on that level, and it's Messi and Ronaldo, and everybody else.
I mean, he went from having Ronaldo, pairing him on the left, to Hazard, and Hazard is a world-class player, top 3 left winger in the world on his day, but he hasn't been on his day in a while. That's hurt Bale as well. So I think Bale's always been fine with being the Robin in a Batman and Robin kind of, and with Ronaldo he was great, and with Benzema they were a great front trio, but he was fine not being the man. And I think that maybe that's just where he is. I don't think that's necessarily a criticism of him. I think that's just what his skill set is, what he's good at, and I think acknowledging that and being comfortable within that is good. I think Madrid asked a bit too much of him. I think it makes sense that they're going to have to look elsewhere now, but those numbers, even for Spurs back when he was there as a young player, and he's been at Madrid for several years now, and he's 31, still great numbers for both clubs.
And obviously the European success has been the hallmark of Real Madrid. 4 titles while he was there. Spurs did have a Champions League final where they lost to Liverpool. They were in the Champions League a number of years in a row. Pochettino had them doing very, very well. And then that team got tired. Eriksson got disinterested, and now they're looking at a little bit of an overhaul. Mourinho wanted to move for him while he was at Madrid, so getting him at 31 is not necessarily the player that he wanted when he was 22, but still a great pairing between Mourinho and him. It'll give them some creativity that I think they really, really need.
And Lucas Moura, I think he's a very good player on that right-hand side. He'll forever be loved for that, his role in the comeback against Ajax to get them to that European final. But Bale's another level. Bale is one of the best players in the world when he's fit. That's the big asterisk. Can he stay fit for a long period of time? Who knows? Will he be motivated to play? There was that famous flag where the order of his priorities goes Wales, golfing, and then Madrid. Maybe Spurs has a higher place on that ranking. So they'll hopefully be able to get the best out of him. And I think the best out of Bale is he was an electric player when he played in the Premier League. What was it, 7 years ago now? He was.
Well, with the transfer.
Yeah, he was a remarkably good player for Spurs. And if he can conjure even a bit of that, it's a high figure that they're going to be paying him per week, but they'll be very happy with that.
Yeah, $325,000, roughly half of what he's earning. It's an enormous number, but I still think it's a good deal for Spurs because they don't have to lay out cash to get the player in-house, right? Yes, you're spending a lot of money over the course of the season. To contextualize that a little bit, you got Harry Kane and Ndombele on at $200,000, then Son at $140,000, and then you got Ali and Lloris at $100,000 each. Those are the 5 players that are above $100,000 in Spurs side today.
Yeah, and you could almost cram their top 4 earners into solely Bale's Real Madrid wages per week. It's remarkable. Yes, he makes a lot of money. Yes, there's always going to be a question of, is his wage ever going to make it so he can leave beyond a free transfer after next season? Who knows? But I think that ultimately this is a win for all parties, as we've mentioned. For Bale, gets a chance to get some playing time in somewhere where he is loved compared to Madrid. Fans love him. For Spurs, you get a potentially world-class right winger for not a serious commitment. For Madrid, you get half of his wages off your books, as well as the fact that he could maybe get some resale value before the final year of his contract is up. I think it's a win-win-win for everybody. Those are rare to see in football, but it's going to be exciting to see the excitement from Spurs fans that they get Gareth Bale back.
That'll do it for us for our look at Gareth Bale's potential return, looking very, very likely right now to Spurs. Jack, Connor, this has been the 45. Please like, comment, subscribe. Look for us on the Twitter at the 45. Take care now.